Hey Stitch Cutie, I'm Brittany with Stitches of Love Quilting, and this is the video tutorial for making your block 2 of your Buku quilt, Little Frankenstein, using your embroidery machine. Now, if you're doing it without embroidery files, you're doing the regular machine applique, don't worry, we have a video tutorial for you too. So, let's get started. Let's first review everything you're gonna need for this month. So first, from your kit, you have your orange fabric and your black fabric. I have a Steady Betty in front of my workstation because it's great for ironing on. I have my favorite iron, the Steam Fast Travel Iron. I'm just gonna quickly press my fabric, make sure it's ready to go. Looks nice, there we go. Now let's talk about your hoop. You're gonna have an 8x12 hoop, just like you did for last month. I have a medium tearaway stabilizer in mine. You can use the stabilizer of your choice, but you know, we're gonna do a lot of stitching on it, so you wanna make sure it's strong enough to handle what we're doing. Then let's talk about our thread colors. Out of your Buku embroidery thread kit, if you got that, we're gonna use these 4 colors, which is the black. These are all sulky 40 weight rayon threads. So we have 1005, which is the black. Then we have the butterfly gold, which is 0567. Then we have the really pretty pink, and it is 1307. And then we have orange, which is 1168. So we have our thread colors. I'm gonna put those aside over here for myself. Now the needle I like to use in my machine are organ needles. That's typically what comes on your embroidery machines or your sewing machines anyway. But we do have them available in little individual packs. So you don't have to buy like a huge bulk amount like you used to. They now package them in this great little way. And I use a size 75 to 90. I love these, and I change my needle out. I've started, since we're able to get them in these great little packs, now I actually change my needle fairly frequently, and I do think it makes a difference. It just depends on how much you use your machine and how often you stitch. So now in your kit, you have all your pre-fused laser cut applique pieces. So I'm just gonna quickly show you how to trim them out of the little fabric that they're in. You can see they're like 99% cut out. You just have a little bitty snip here, a little snip here, and you just free your piece. Boop. Now the scissors that I like to use are these Karen K. Buckley scissors. I think they're fantastic. And then you'll just continue getting all your pieces ready, and I go on and peel all the back off. So just crimp it. See, I just, with your fabric side up, just crimp on a corner, and you can see that white backing releases right away, and you just peel it and get all your pieces ready. I keep them in a little bowl. Mom always makes fun of me because I call this a jar. It's a bowl, so I'm saying the right word in this video. I keep it in a little bowl so that I don't lose any pieces, and then I always have a second bowl for my trash can, so you can see all my trash is in there. And then I do have a little rotary cutter and a rotary mat for the end to trim it out of the stabilizer, but you don't have to worry about that just yet. And then I like to have 3M transport tape because that holds the fabric in place at the beginning for us. So load your file, load a black thread, and go on and prompt your machine to do the first step, and we'll be back in just a second to put our fabric in place. Okay, so the very first thing that your machine has done is just one straight line towards the lower 2/3 of your hoop. So I'm gonna take my hoop, I'm turning it sideways only because that just happens to be the direction it fits in front of me nicely on my Steady Betty. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your orange fabric, and you're gonna make sure you put it tall way, so you have the 10 inches here, the 9 inches here, and you're gonna put that right at that line. Just a squidge over it, right? And you're just gonna center it in your hoop. And then you're gonna take your black fabric and you're gonna put it right on top, again, lining up right here at the bottom. What we're doing, here, I'll turn it the right direction for you. What this is doing, this is our guideline that we're just barely covering. And then this next step, when we put this back on the hoop of or back on the arm of our machine, it's gonna do a 1/4 inch line, and then we'll flip that down. So it's creating the seam, the 1/4 inch seam for us of our block. So I am gonna put just a smidge of tape right here just to hold it in place. And again, my fabric is just barely over this little stitched line. There we go. So tape that down, and let's give it just one little tape at the top. Sometimes I tape a lot, sometimes I barely tape. It just depends on, I don't know, I guess what I'm feeling that day. So a little bitty piece of tape at the top. So we're gonna put this back on. Again, we still have the black thread. We're gonna keep that black thread on our machine for almost all the way till the end. All right, so go on and put that back on, prompt it to go to the next step, and then we'll be back to make that and iron it. So just like that, you have your 1/4 inch seam made. So let's put this in front of us. I am going to gently remove that tape that I just used. Get that out of the way. And you want to take the tape off because you don't want to iron over your tape. That's never good. That makes a sticky mess, and you don't want a sticky mess on your beautiful block. Okay, and again, anytime you're taking this on and off, you want to be really careful not to distort the contents of your frame, right? Because if you move this out of place, then all of your stitching afterwards is going to be out of place. So I'm just going to gently press this down, and then I'm going to take my iron. There we go. And press this. See, that's why I love this iron. It's so great for working inside the hoop. And then I'm gonna put just a little piece of tape right here. So what the machine is gonna do, again, keep the black thread on. Excuse me. What you're gonna have stitched now, it's gonna stitch a rectangle to put this in place so that we know the fabric is gonna stay where it belongs the rest of the time. And it's gonna do the first round of applique pieces that we're gonna put on. So we'll be back in a second to do that first round of ironing. So now you can see you have your first round of applique outlines. Check it out. Looks great. We're gonna put this down in front of us. And the first thing I'm gonna do, excuse me y'all, I've had a cough like all last week. It's kind of coming back today. And I am going to start ironing my pieces down. Now pay special attention to what I'm gonna do down here with the shoes because there's a cool little trick. So let's start with piece number 1. We're gonna iron down. And your piece is going to be a perfect fit because the piece that I send to the files for the laser and the piece that I use when I digitize this are the exact same piece. So you always have perfect fits. And then, sorry, y'all are going to see my head. I just want to make sure I get it in the right place. Yep, that's perfect. And so just iron that on. Okay, so now with pieces 3 and 4, you can see piece number 3 is the boot. You can see there's a little slit right here. That's for a reason. And then you have piece number 4, right? So I'm gonna make sure I have it oriented the right way, and I'm gonna hold it in place with my finger, and then I am going to simply slip this piece right in to that little slip. Right? Oh, it came out. I had it in place and then it came out. Go back in. There we go. And then I'm going to put my shoes in place. I'm going to make sure this green is in place and we're going to iron it. So you're slipping piece number 4 inside of that slit of piece 3. And that's how you have that great layered look. Perfect. So our little shoes are put together. So now let's go up here. The next piece that we're gonna iron down is gonna be our spider, number 9 and 10. So this one's easy to do. We're gonna put down 9, which is his legs. We're gonna put that down first. And what I like to do is make sure I have it in place, but I'm gonna iron like the left side of him first, and then I'm gonna iron the right side of him. There we go. So stay in place, little guy. There we go. And now piece number 10 goes right over. So cute, this little hot pink spider. And oh, I kind of moved my piece. That's okay if it moves a little. Just while it's still hot, you can still adjust it. No problem at all. There we go. And now it's time to do our 2 hands, which are number 11 and 12. So let's just see which hand is which. Ooh, first try. Don't you love when that happens? I love it. So just put one little hand in place. And then let's get this hand in place. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna put our hoop back on the arm of our machine. And the machine is going to do an outline. It's actually gonna outline only one piece for this next step, and it's gonna be the big purple jacket of Frankenstein. So put this back on and we'll be back in just a second. Okay, so see the jacket is outlined for us? let's iron that on real quick. This big old piece. I love this purple. Isn't this such a great purple? I know it's a Moda Bella Solids, but I don't know what the name of it is, but it's very regal to me at least. So make sure you've got everything in place, and then I'm just gonna iron down in sections. That's what I like to do with the bigger pieces. I think it makes it easier, and it makes sure that you keep everything in the right spot. There we go. And you can see it only takes a second to iron down your pieces. Okay, so now we're gonna put this on, and now your machine is gonna give you a whole bunch of outlines. It's gonna do every single remaining piece except one. So it's gonna do like, what, 10 or so pieces at least? So, but let's put this on and we'll be back in a second to iron. So check it out. We have a ton of outlines to fill in. See, let me get a little closer for you. So that's what yours should look like now. So let's just start ironing on in the order that they're numbered. So the first piece is gonna be number 5. So I'm gonna get it out of my little bowl. Let's see, these little yellows we're gonna do first. So number 5 is this little corner shoe piece. So we're just gonna put that right in. And sorry, y'all are gonna see my head a bunch because I have to make sure I get it in the right spot. There we go. Perfect. Now we are going to do, let's see, these are pieces 6, 7, and 8. So I'm gonna see if I can lay them all down at one time. Make sure on the little pieces that you have the fusible side down. For some reason, to me, on the little pieces is where I accidentally make the mistake of putting the fusible up. And that is not a good look for your iron. All right, and get that right in there. Ooh, I moved this guy. Ooh. And if you have like a little pair of tweezers, this is where it could be handy. There we go. And then this little bitty one. And sorry again, I'll move in a second so my head's not in the way. There we go. Okay, so see, I have my 3 pieces in place. I'm just gonna simply iron them down. Now the next number that we're gonna do, so we've done 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're gonna do 14, which is this little stripe. And you wanna make sure to do it in the right order because some of the pieces layer. For example, these 2 pieces that we're gonna do. So we're gonna put the orange stripe and then we're gonna do this yellow piece, number 15. So pay attention to the order you iron on. And you wanna make sure this guy is in place. There we go. And then we will iron. You can see I kind of like to hold it on either end. I start in the center and work my way out to the corners. There we go. Now we'll do piece number 15, the yellow. There we go. And so he lines up just right. Perfect fit. There we go. So now after piece 15, we do, I'm looking at my cheat sheet, y'all. We do number 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So our 2 little stripes, and then we do our 2 little bolts, and then we do his face. So let me get those out of my jar, our 2 stripes. There we go. Put this right on. Isn't it cute? I just realized that this little Frankenstein is like in a football jersey. That's so cute. I didn't put that together. Out of all the times I've looked at this and digitized it, that's silly I didn't put that together. And again, in case you don't remember, this is a really fun collaboration project with our friend Amy of Amy Brucken Design. So this originally was in her Lucky 13 cross stitch pattern. And it's such a cute project. That's also a club we have going on. If you like cross stitch, it's a lot of fun to stitch that. But we have so many, we have this project and so many more projects coming with her where we are adapting her cross stitch into machine applique and machine embroidery applique. So be on the lookout for tons more fun. There we go. And now the last piece that we're gonna put on during this section is the giant Frankenstein face. And then we'll put the hoop back on the arm of our machine. And it's gonna give us one final outline so that we can put Frankenstein's hair on, and then we'll get to the fun part of the stitching. Well, it's all fun. I think this is the fun part too, but I really like when it starts stitching and you see it all come to life. All right, so we'll be back in just a second. Okay, so now the only thing left to do is iron his hair on. Woohoo! So let me get that, and I'll put it down. Ooh, I have a piece of fuzz. There we go. I feel like I always have fuzz. It's kind of hard not to in our office. There's fabric being cut 24/7, and it is incredible how much lint goes in the air from cutting fabric non-stop. Especially on batting days, when we're cutting all the batting. Oh my goodness. All right, so our hair is in place. So now, again, we're gonna keep that black thread. We have Sulky 40 weight rayon number 1005 on the machine, and now our machine is gonna do all of the black buttonhole stitching, and it's gonna do his little face. So we'll be back in a second to see how it turned out. So just like that, you have all of your black stitched. Let's take a look at how good it looks. Don't you love it? It's absolutely perfect. It looks great. So now the next color we're gonna load is 0567. Look how much of this color I've used. I love it, not just on this project, just in general. So this is 0567, we'll load that, and the machine is going to do the buttonhole stitch on the cute little yellow pieces down here. And now all of the yellow is done. Let me hold it up for you. Look how great that looks. I just love it. And now it is time to change to pink. So our little bitty spider at the top is gonna get stitched, and that beautiful pink color is 1307, so we'll load that, and then we'll be back to do our very final color change. Let's take a look at the spider. He's all stitched. You like him? I think he looks good, huh? Is he in the shot? Yeah, he's in the shot. There we go, he looks great. So now our very final color change, and that is to load this beautiful orange. I think it's called True Orange, and it really is True Orange. So 1168, and it's gonna do the little jersey stripes on our Frankenstein, and then we'll be ready to trim. Okay, time to do a happy dance. Your Frankenstein is totally done in the hoop of your embroidery machine. How cool. So let's trim it. And then you can set it aside and wait for next month's box to come. Next month is a little ghost. He's super cute. Okay, so let's trim it. What I like to do is trim just on this stitched line, and that's gonna give you the absolutely perfect block for your quilts. So, and it's kind of hard to see that black thread because it really matches. So sorry again that my head is coming in the shot, but I gotta get close so I can see. And what I've done is I've put a rotary mat over my Steady Betty. Obviously don't cut on your Steady Betty, that would hurt it. And we'll just cut on this line. And I am using a ruler that's too short, but that's okay. It's just because I want to stay in the shot for you guys. So I'll just move it up. There we go. And then we'll turn it and do another trim right here. And again, I'm just cutting right on this sewn line. There we go. And then the final cut right along this edge. And then we'll just tear the stabilizer out. As a reminder, you get your buttons in the final 13th month. You get a huge finishing kit, a giant box. And so you don't want to sew any of your buttons on till after your quilt is put together, obviously, so that when you're quilting it, you don't have to dodge buttons. So once he gets his little eyes and the spider gets his eyes, it's just gonna be too cute. So here's another close-up of it. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate at all to reach out to us. We're always happy to help. So tear your stabilizer out and then set it aside, and then we'll be all waiting for month number 3 to come in the mail next month. All right, happy stitching, everybody.